Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the Lions franchise. This is the NFL Draft 2021 and I've been excited about this for the entire season. I was looking to address slot receiver, guard, tackle, defensive tackle, at least 2 linebackers, and a corner and maybe a free safety, although I already knew there was none in the draft. And with the first overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Wade York, right tackle out of Louisville, and he's gonna start there. And him being 70 overall, and I knew that he was a mid-second round value. I already knew that the difference between a late first round value and a mid-second round value was basically none. So the Dolphins took a right tackle as well, 70 overall as well. And I think I moved him to guard after the draft. So he's a 70 overall too. And the Washington football team selects Cody Singer, a left end. I think I removed him to left outside linebacker because of the 3-4 they are running. He's a 79 overall, and we'll check him out later. Now on the clock, there are the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I already thought a lot about what I want to do with my pick at 7 overall. And Singer was one of 2 guys that I was gonna pick if they were there, and the other one was Dylan Pearman, quarterback, North Carolina. But now they are gone, and I didn't exactly know what to do now, so I just simmed the next 2 picks. Dylan Pearman, will check him out later as well. He had really good athleticism, some good speed. He was an improviser, and he had short accuracy and throw on the run in his top 3. The New York Jets select Daniel Flott, left outside linebacker. He's a 3-4 outside linebacker, and he was really good. And I thought about drafting him as well, but there he is, gone at 5 overall. So now the Chicago Bears are on the clock. Let's see what they are doing. And they draft a defensive tackle, 70 overall, Carl Crocker out of Notre Dame. And now I was on the clock. So I thought a lot about Deontay Bryant or Josh Green, receiver and corner, but ultimately I tried to trade down and it was really hard. I fell 14 picks and only picked up a 3, gave up a 5 as well. But I traded with the Eagles because I thought they would need another receiver, and Connor Robbins was on the clock. They let go of a couple of starting receivers in the offseason. Now let's see what they do with this pick. At 7 overall, the Philadelphia Eagles pick Connor Robbins, exactly whom I wanted them to draft. 75 overall, we'll check him out later, but from his combine and his top 3, I thought he looked a lot like DeAndre Hopkins. And receivers start going off the board now. Nate Randall. There was 10 first round receivers, 9 of whom were first round values, and the other one was an early second round value, so he was basically a first round value as well. And there goes another receiver, and Anton Foster, the first corner to the Giants. It was not the corner I was keen to draft if I would have drafted a corner at 7 overall, but he is a really good corner as well, and he had a sub 4.4 40. And there goes Cole Sharp, a left guard to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was a first round value, mid first round value. And Keenan Allen, a left end out of Mississippi State, goes to the Bengals. Now the Vikings, I did not want to trade up with them, but I thought about trading up in this area actually. And Darnell Norwood, the Heisman winning middle linebacker, gets drafted to a team that already has Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks. So they got stronger at middle linebacker, or at linebacker in general, even more. And that was the first reach of this round, I think, of this draft. Deshaun Barkley, a right guard, goes to Pittsburgh. Now the Titans are on the clock, and they took Josh Green. That was the corner I would have taken at 7 if I was to. He had a sub 4.40 as well, and he is a really good man cover corner. Now the Panthers are on the clock. I thought about trading up here as well, but they go with left tackle Tyler Jennings out of Penn State. He was a mid-second round value as well, like the first two tackles taken at 1 and 2. And now the Denver Broncos were on the clock. And they took Deontay Bryant. He was my favorite receiver out of all of these because he was 6'1", 4'3", 340, and had really good hands and route runnings. So I liked him a lot. And the Jets, with their second pick in the first round, go Andrew Hills, wide receiver, Virginia Tech, 80 overall. And this looks to be the #1 player out of the entire draft. So the Jets start the draft hot. The Raiders go Alex Campbell. They have to face Jason Kelsey all the time, so they just take a tight end to annoy the Chiefs, who go Morgan Pemberton. And that was the third corner out of the 3 first-round corners there were. And now I was on the clock, and I actually would have thought about Bryant or Green, but since they are gone, I couldn't wait anymore on Carlos Jefferson. Excellent combine. And at first I was a bit disappointed because he has only normal dev. I thought he would for sure have at least superstar. And 76 overall is not what I expected. I thought he would be like more 79 or 80 overall with that combine, but if you look at it, and actually the strength is not high, 91 for that combine. I thought he could do more. He could have been by, I don't know, 94, 95. But 76 block shedding, 78 power moves, and 74 finesse moves is really balanced. He has also 91 injuries, so that's good. But you can work with those 3 skills. They are really balanced, and 2 years of development, and I have all of these in the high 80s probably. Now, my strategy now was to wait until outside linebacker Randy Lindsay goes off the board and then trade up for Justice Hawthorne, the only draftable pass coverage archetype linebacker in the first 3 rounds. I really wanted Justice Hawthorne, and I wanted a pass coverage linebacker as Glenn Dawson goes off the board, and he was one of the receivers I was considering as well. He has a 4.31 40, so that's going to be a really good speed. Cordell Burnett goes off the board. Courtney Howard goes off the board. He was the other early first round value defensive tackle, but I really liked Jefferson a lot more because of his combine and his ceiling, therefore. And with the 26 overall pick, the Falcons go Taj Redmond, wide receiver out of Boston College. And the Cleveland Browns took Britton Rhodes, corner out of Buffalo. It was a slight reach. And Peter Windham, the other first round projected quarterback, goes to the Saints. They have a new franchise quarterback, and he has really phenomenal speed, something in the 4.4s, I think. Now the Buccaneers already have 3 good tight ends, and they just took another one and then overrated as that. Bart Duncan was the 9th top 10 receiver that went. Actually, Jamel McLean was. And with the Super Bowl pick, the Green Bay Packers, our division rivals, select Darian Taylor, wide receiver out of Clemson. I liked his top 3 as well, but his playstyle I already have in J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Now, Will Buckley went off the board at the first pick in the 2nd round, and Carl Henry, a 78 overall running back, goes in the 2nd round to Miami. So I don't know, is this Derrick Henry's brother or cousin? He's in the league as well now. And Charles Lowry is a really overrated middle linebacker prospect. And there he goes, Randy Lindsay. So now I knew I had to trade up 2 spots. And I tried it with a 6th rounder. And the Jets didn't do it. They also didn't do it for a 5th rounder. It would have taken a 4th rounder to move up 2 spots. And since the Jets already took a left outside linebacker, I thought they would not go right outside linebacker here for Justice Hawthorne. But they did. They selected Justice Hawthorne out of Florida. And there he goes, the only pass coverage linebacker in this entire draft that was an early 2nd round value or higher. Now the trade up was really hard, and this sucks, of course. But we'll look at Justice Hawthorne. And keep in mind, they already selected Daniel Flood at 5 overall, and they selected the 80 overall wide receiver Andrew Hills at like, I think 18 overall. So they are having a great draft. And the Chicago Bears go Jason McElroy, corner out of Miami. So now I was on the board, and the only interesting prospect left, I thought, was Clyde Farr, an early 1st round center. And he was 21. He had good athleticism, but only a 5.3 40-yard dash. So I knew he was not going to be a guard. But welcome, right tackle Clyde Farr out of Boise State. He only had normal dev. I thought he would have higher dev, but 88 strength is good. And he's really balanced, so you can work on whatever you want. He is a good prospect, and I was really happy to select him. And then the Chargers selected left guard Sylvester Childress, and I realized if I want to have another defensive tackle, I have to trade up now. Because the only other prospect I was selecting at defensive tackle is about to be taken, and it's Terrence Rodriguez. Notice he's a left end, but I am gonna convert him to a defensive tackle, and I take him. Trade up, gave up a lot of picks for him, but he's 22 and he only has normal dev as well. But he already has 80 power moves, and 69 block shedding is not that high, but it's good. He has good speed and good strength, so he can rush the passer, and his agility is really high at 81. He only has 83 injury, which is not that great. But yeah, I really liked that selection, and 280 is not that light for a defensive tackle. And the new strategy was to wait for Cliff Hyde or D'Angelo Crosby to go and trade up for the other one. And there he goes, Cliff Hyde. So I was gonna draft D'Angelo Crosby, but the trade up was too expensive, and D'Angelo Crosby goes to, you guessed it right, the New York Jets. 2 picks ahead of me. It would have taken probably 2 3rd rounders to get D'Angelo Crosby in the back of the 2nd round, so I was not ready to put in that. But as there are no other interesting prospects left, I decided between John Wise and Isaac Kovacs, who was going to be the better. And Wise has the better 40-yard dash, the better bench press, and they are both 22. And also Wise has the better top 3, so I selected him. He was an early 2nd round of value. And welcome, new right guard John Wise to the Detroit Lions. 22 out of USC. 6'5" and 318. He has 90 strength. I really like that a lot. And he has 84 lead block, which is really important at guard. And he already has 82 run block finesse as well, so that's really good. And Kovacs went right with the next pick, and D'Angelo Arsenault is a receiver I thought about drafting because he is a 6'5" receiver. 3rd round, pick 17. There was one player I wanted to have, and this pick was all the time dedicated to him. Addison Wheaton, 4'4", 540. Really good top 3 with B- catching, and this guy looks solid. He is 23 and normal dev, but he has really good athleticism. 91 speed, 93 excel, 85 jumping, 74 catching. His coverage skills are okay to start out with, but I really liked this pick. And in the 4th round, I didn't have any prospect anymore, and I thought that I would be given this pickup, and I should have I should have given this pick up to try and trade up for D'Angelo Crosby and convert the safety to linebacker. Now the only linebacker left on the board was Roosevelt Allison, and he was a run stopper, but he was the only interesting prospect, and I thought I could get him in the 6th round, but there he goes. Despite other linebackers with good values above him on the board, and that was it with linebackers in this draft. Really terrible. You have to reach for linebackers if you want a good one. So I traded out of our last 2 picks in the 6th round because I didn't have any interesting prospects anymore, and I got some good value for the future. We only took 5 players, but I thought it was a good draft. We got some value. The only thing is that I didn't get a linebacker. Cody Zinger, 79 overall and hidden dev, of course. 81 finesse moves and 71 block shed. That was what I was worried about with taking him, because in the top 3 there were none of the moves or block shedding. Dylan Pearman. He looks a lot like Russell Wilson actually. He's 21 and an improviser. He has good, really good throw power and good deep accuracy. Really excellent short accuracy to start out with. I like him a lot and I would have taken him, but we already have Matt Stafford and he's under contract for at least 2 years. The Jets, Daniel Flatt, only normal dev, but really solid player to start out with. 83 speed, 84 hit power, some really good moves, like in the high 70s, so that's good. Connor Robbins, he really looks a lot like DeAndre Hopkins in my opinion. 86 spec catch. He's going to be good for the Eagles and he's going to be starting. And Anton Foster is already pissed off that he has to play for the Giants, but 94 speed is really good. Darnell Norwood, hidden dev, Heisman winning linebacker with 90 speed. He has 63 zone coverage. It's not that high, but I mean, it's okay. Can't start with that. Josh Green was the corner I really liked. 74 zone coverage is really good. 92 speed. And Deontay Bryant, I would have loved to draft him at 7 overall, but I am not going to draft the slot receiver at 7 overall. 94 speed. Look at the catching ratings. Really good route runnings. 89 jumping. 95 agility. He can play whatever you want him to. And juke and spin move 79. Yeah, this guy is dope. Andrew Hills, the number 1 player in the entire draft. It's 96 speed, 85 catching. The route runnings are okay. 82 deep route is good, but yeah. Glenn Dawson was the 3rd receiver I was targeting, and he has 97 speed. His deep route running is okay. Short route running and mid route running need some work, but catching ratings are really good too. Now, Courtney Howard made me feel a lot better about drafting Carlos Jefferson. He has a little bit more strength, but his power and finesse moves are both a lot lower than Jefferson's, so I'm really happy about drafting Jefferson. Peter Windham, he has really good deep accuracy actually, and medium accuracy and short accuracy need a lot of work, but he's going to be the starting quarterback, and he is probably going to be a rookie of the year because he's the only quarterback drafted in the NFC that is going to start. Darian Taylor, we're going to play against him twice a year. And Carl Henry, 78 overall, hidden dev running back, 92 speed, 94 excel, 91 agility, 88 juke move, 86 carrying. He's going to be good. Justice Hawthorne, yeah, he's 21. He only has normal dev actually, which is a bit surprising, but his zone coverage is at 66 and that is lower than I thought it would be. Block shedding at 69. Yeah, he's not that great a prospect. Looking back at it, Cliff Hyde, I was not keen on selecting him because he was a run stopper, but his zone coverage is better than I imagined, and he also has 90 acceleration, so a linebacker, that is really valuable. D'Angelo Crosby was the one I was targeting, and I didn't pull the trigger for the trade up, and he would have made a great linebacker at our situation. D'Angelo Arsenault, 6'5". As slot receiver, look at that short route running, really good catching ratings, speed is okay. Yeah, I liked him a lot. And finally, Roosevelt Allison, 22, rookie out of Wake Forest, 68 overall. His pass coverage archetype is really low. Coverage is in the 50s, not that great, but 86 hit power. Speed is really good. He's a really good athlete. That's why I wanted him. And look at this Jets draft. Daniel Flott, Andrew Hills, Justice Hawthorne, D'Angelo Crosby. They had an excellent draft. In the first 3 rounds, they took 4 blue chip starting players, and because that was not enough, they got themselves a steal in the 3rd round with Dalton Haywood, the receiver out of Colorado. 21 years old, good speed, really balanced across the board. 70 release is a little bit low, but you can do whatever you want with him. He is all you could imagine in a 3rd round receiver. And that was not enough because they actually took another one, 68 overall, Tyrone Shepard. He's 23 out of Florida State. He is balanced as well, but I already looked the roster up. They are not going to be starting. The only starting receiver of this draft is going to be Andrew Hills for now. And since I have a lot of cap space now after the draft, I rather take the penalty right now while rebuilding than later. He has a terrible contract and I wanted to get rid of him. Same goes for Joe Dahl. He did not have a terrible contract, but I didn't need him anymore. We had 2 O-linemen drafted. And look who is there in free agency. Marcus Mariota, 27 still. He has good ratings. I like him, so I took him. And look who's there as well. John Ross, welcome to the team. 97 speed, 95 excel, really good route runnings, really balanced receiver, and he is on the team. 1 year, $5 million deal, and look what free agency gifted to me. Matthew Fort, 22 years old, rookie out of Houston, 5'9". A little bit smaller than I want for a slot receiver, but we're gonna see his ratings. His speed is not that great, but 93 XL is the important thing about a slot receiver. He has really good catching ratings. The only bad thing at this stage is deep route running, and he's not gonna be running any deep routes anytime soon. So welcome to the team, Matthew Ford. And also, he has 73 carrying, 82 juke move, 79 spin move, 91 kick return. He is going to be a weapon all over the place. He's going to compete with John Ross for starting slot receiver. And he's only going to cost $1.85 million. After that, I signed about 7 rookie linebackers in UDFA, and Gerald Lindley is one of them. I actually scouted him. He is a 4th round value. And he went undrafted, good athleticism, but block shedding and zone coverage need a lot of work. But when I moved him to right outside linebacker, he got 70 overall. Luke Wagner is the highlight, I think. He's only a 65 overall, but he's 21. And look at his zone coverage, 69 zone coverage, 75 play rec, 72 block shed, 73 hit power. And you can rush the passer with him as well. 64 finesse moves. Luke Wagner is gonna be my starting 3-down linebacker next to Jelani Tavai because of his zone coverage and his play rec. And Gerald Lindley is gonna be the 3rd linebacker who comes in 4-3 base packages. I signed about 3 linebackers that have hidden dev. Unfortunately, it's not Luke Wagner or Gerald Lindley, so bummer, but I really like the linebackers that were in free agency. And also I signed about 6 UDFA receivers. There was one of them who has hidden dev, I think, but they are really solid, and I have now about 10 receivers, and probably 4 of them are gonna go to the practice squad. But oh well, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more Lions franchise. See you in the next episode. Until then, spread some love.